Yes, beautiful souls. A little later, because I had some internet troubles in the house. But we're going into this live into the G center that generates the most powerful electromagnetic field that surrounds our bodies. It's the torus-shaped field that moves into our body like an apple, and it also moves out of our body in an apple shape into the bottom of our aura and into our root chakra at the bottom of our body, and it moves out of our crown chakra. It creates the most powerful electromagnetic field inside of the body. That's where it's called the G center in human design. In other terminologically, the 13-dimensional or 13 chakra system in Egypt, it is the heart chakra. It is the true heart, the physical heart, where the physical heart, the heart chakra, is the seed to the soul. This is where the soul is positioned inside of the body. Basically, in between the front and the back of the heart chakra, or the G center, the center of self. Inside the front and the back, in the middle, you will have the soul. If you will be able to see the soul is a cube, a three-dimensional cube with inside of the cube a three-dimensional Star of David, a Merkaba. And this Merkaba carries the frequency, the vibration of your soul, which sits in the center of your chest. Now, in human design, you can have this center either yellow, colored, it means defined, where your center of self gives you the truth in that center to know who you are, to know where you're going to. This is who I am, this is where I'm going to. This is my identity, this is where I'm going to. If you make decisions from your mind, you're very likely to make a detour. But with this center defined, you will always kind of like go into your own identity and direction again. So it gives you a consistent access to self-direction, identity. It inspires others to find their own direction. People with this yellow colored G center, they need to follow the pull of their soul. Because when you close your eyes and you tune into the center of your chest, your soul will kind of like pull you towards, this is who I am, this is my identity, this is my direction. Yeah, and with the center of the soul defined, you have to listen to how you spontaneously speak about making certain decisions. Because in that spontaneity from the soul lives now, lives in the present moment of now, the soul lives and it speaks naturally, fluidly, without having to think about what you need to say. It just speaks naturally. Now, people who have the G center yellow, colored, closed, they have to be careful that they're not projecting their own identity onto other people. Because they have a very strong identity, a very strong direction, sense. But we are all people that can succeed where other people fail, or fail where other people succeed. So a projection would be that if you tell somebody, no, you shouldn't be doing that this way, you should do it that way because I tried it this way and it was a horrible mistake, then you are projecting your own learning and growing onto someone else who can maybe succeed where you failed. So a healthy reflection would be, oh, if you're considering to do that, you should pay attention to this because this is where it went wrong for me. That is a reflection, that is not a projection. It only gives somebody information to use for them to be able to succeed where you maybe failed. So reflecting is healthy, and projections at times are not always the best thing. So that is for people who have this center of the soul closed. On the other hand, we have 45% of humanity who have the center of the soul open. It's white, it is open, undefined, and therefore it functions like a reflector, where this open center of self kind of like pulls you to be the guide or the healer for someone else when it's about identity and direction. People with an open G center, they are here to be the healer. People go and see a healer because they are maybe lacking a sense of direction or a sense of identity. So when you have the G center open, wide, it means that you can be the guide for someone else. You're really good into guiding other people into finding themselves, knowing who they are. You immediately see their identity and direction, and you can kind of like from a clear slate reflect that identity back to them. And with that purpose of being the guide for others comes that when this center is wide and open, you have to be at peace to be okay, not always knowing exactly who you are and where you are going to. Yeah, to be at peace, not always exactly knowing who you are and where you are going to. What I always tell people is you are love, light, truth. You're not going anywhere else than being love, light, and truth. So that's who you are. That's where you're going to. And you are here to direct, you're here to guide other people's identity back to them as a guide. That is your purpose. So whenever your mind then gives you all sorts of thoughts of I need to figure out who am I, where am I going to? I see all these people with my open G center, which kind of like gives you a sense of identity, direction inside of yourself that is very wide. That might be like, oh, I love everything. I like everything. Where you see all these people who are like this, they might appear like an idol. You know, this is where they created idols for in the Matrix. The only idol is yourself. You are here to be your own idol. So be happy with all the different directions and identities that you can adopt, but they're only inspiration. You have to use your own inner authority and your own strategy to make the right choices in your life. And for an open G center person, your environment is everything. The physical place that you are in, the physical people that you are connected to, need to feel amazing. If your environment, the people that surround you do not feel amazing, you might want to change your environment. You might want to change friendships that don't feel amazing anymore. Maybe you would like to change your physical place, your house, the area that you're living in. Maybe even you want to move to the other side of the world. For an open G center, it is very, very important to have a physical place that feels absolutely amazing. If it doesn't feel amazing, try to change your environment. And for an open G center, it's also very important to at times talk with someone with an open G center. Open G centers, when I tell you that you easily adopt somebody else's identity or direction, that if you're talking with a closed G center, this is where the conditioning comes in, that you might be looking for love and direction outside of yourself. Now, you know, you are love, light, truth. You're not going anywhere else than being that. So there's no need to look for love, light, and truth or direction outside of yourself, as everything is inside of you. When you talk with open G centers with each other, they don't create this amplification. If the plus and the minus come together, they create amplification. And when it's about identity and direction, the yellow and the white, when they come together, it might be that somebody's identity becomes stronger. And when somebody else's identity becomes stronger, you might be very inspired by that. But watch for the conditioning that you don't follow somebody else's identity, somebody else's direction, but you follow your own. And you do that also by at times closing your eyes and feeling into the pool of your soul, what the soul pulls you to in terms of you are love, you are light, you are truth. You're here to guide, direct, and reflect other people's identity back to them. Now, the G center, the heart chakra, is the center of the soul. And from the soul, the most powerful electromagnetic field surrounds the body. It moves like an apple-shaped field out of our body and then back into our body from the bottom of our body. And it meets in the heart. So when we are truly living inside of the heart, and we meditate inside of the tiny, most sacred space inside of our heart, we can expand this magnetic field. We become a stronger self-love energy to expand our magnetic field by breathing into our heart space. And if you want to do this heart meditation, I've got many on my website. You can go to my website, livinginmana.com, and there's a blog that is called Why, or you can go to the freebies, and there's a few articles that go into transcending duality, living inside of the heart, that also has a meditation to be able to start living and loving yourself inside of the heart instead of in the brain. And why is it so important? Like ascension, literally, this is the heart chakra is the 7th chakra in the 13 chakra system. It's always the center of the chakra system. If you look into the 7 or into the 13, the heart is always the middle. And it is also the center of Christ consciousness, or what you would call ascension. The only thing ascension basically is going from the mind into the heart, so that you are constantly living inside of the heart all the time. So if you have any questions about the heart chakra, about the G center, in relationships also, I can give a little example what can happen with a G center closed and a G center open in relationship is that the one who has it open maybe tends to put the other person onto a pedestal, because that person feels so inspiring in terms of their identity and their direction, which is something that we shouldn't be doing. The only one who needs to sit on a pedestal is ourselves, and we have to put ourselves onto that pedestal. Other things that might happen in the G center is we carry here the fears towards our purpose, to our highest potential future, to our highest timeline. We carry in this center also a lot of the times, purpose-based contracts and agreements. An agreement that I come across a lot that comes through when I do sessions with clients is that the past has proven to you to be unsafe, to be unique, to be different. So what the subconscious does, because the past had proven that it was unsafe, to be unique, to be different, the subconscious, the inner child, signs a contract with itself that it is more safe to just try to fit in. Try to fit into somebody else's expectations. Try to fit into compromises. When you compromise, you put your energy on a maybe. And a maybe should actually be no. Until the maybe becomes a full body yes, then it is a yes. If you choose the maybe, the middle road, what a lot of the times happens in relationship as well, is that we choose to put our energy on the maybe. One person wants to go left, the other person wants to go right. Let's do the middle road. And a lot of the times this gets us in frustration or in anger, because we're actually not putting our energy on our full body yes decision. That what you truly loved was right, and the other one wanted to go left, so you choose to go on the middle road. That means you're putting your energy on the compromise. And compromises also come from that contract that a lot of people carry inside of themselves, that the past had proven to be unsafe, to be unique, to be different. So the child, the inner child, signed a contract with itself, the subconscious to the subconscious, that it was more safe to just try to fit in. Live up to other people's expectations, other people's promises. Choose the compromise because that feels maybe more safe. Also, it could lead to trying to figure out what somebody else wants. Do that so that you would be safe. And it's time to vanish these contracts into the light, the love, the truth that you are, so that we become fully sovereign and spiritually evolved human beings. as we are spiritual beings in this human experience. I hope this helps. If you have any further questions, drop me a private message or post the question under this live, and I'll be happy to answer them. Yes? All right. Big love, big hug.